An early stage startup and a spin out from a British university, and our goal is to try and change the way that people use energy by putting data-driven and AI-driven intelligent control into the hands of commercial energy consumers. So we provide public and commercial building owners, buildings like this, with a cloud-based AI software service that empowers them to predict, optimize and control their building energy loads. And by optimize, we mean optimize for profit. So that means reducing their energy costs, lowering their carbon emissions, which often they pay for through mandatory carbon reporting schemes, enabling them to access high-value, revenue-generating demand response services from the energy system on their terms, and helping them leverage and harness data from the building, a lot of the data you just heard about in the previous really good presentation. So the problem we've been trying to address at GridEdge is something we call buildings behaving badly, which is something many of you in the audience will no doubt know about. And when it comes to energy management, as you know, buildings are quite inefficient in how they manage energy. So in the UK, over £4 billion a year alone just in inefficient energy management. They face increasing exposure to costly ancillary energy charges that are passed through from the energy supplier onto the building owner. And poor energy management accounts for around about a fifth of UK's greenhouse gas emissions, and I imagine that's standard across other parts of the world as well. And the reason for that is that the way that energy is currently managed in buildings is through a piece of technology called the building management system, which is a great technology provided by some fantastic companies like Honeywell, Siemens, Schneider Electric, but it's great at what it was designed to do, which was control your heating, your lighting, and provide basic information for reporting, fault detection, scheduling and maintenance. But what it was never designed to do, what it's not able to do, is enable a building owner to intelligently optimize their energy profile in this much more complex and dynamic energy landscape they now operate in. So in the world today, you have mandatory carbon reduction targets driving down your per square foot carbon emissions. You have the growth of on-site generation and storage technologies like CHP or solar photovoltaics. You've got time of day tariffs, the cost of energy you consume changing hour by hour, day by day. It's not a static number anymore. You've got new infrastructure requirements like electric vehicles being integrated into your building. And the reason that the current status quo of energy management can't handle that is that these BMS systems maybe know what happened a day ago, maybe a week ago, maybe this day last year, for whatever use that is. But if you're going to optimize intelligently in this much more complicated world, you need to know what's going to happen next. The next 15 minutes, the next hour, the next day ahead. And to do that, you need to deploy machine learning and predictive AI in an intelligent way. And that's, of course, what we do at GridEdge. So we provide a cloud-based AI software service that works in harmony with the existing BMS system. You don't need to replace it or rip it out. It simply adds these new predictive machine learning layers to your existing building management system. Effectively transforms an existing BMS system into an intelligent building, introducing these deep learning neural network techniques that enable you to predict what's going to happen next and then optimize your response to that prediction. The values that it can create to our customers at the moment come in the form of reduced costs, the creation of flexibility in your energy profile, which you can monetize through these demand response markets, reducing your emissions, and harnessing value from your data. And typically, this is based on one of our current customers who has a large shopping centre in the UK, energy bill just under £1 million, and typically the value we can create for a customer like this is just over about £130,000 per year. Housing, shopping centres, energy call centres, university campuses, and we've grown from 1 site to 9 in just about a year. As I said, we're still a very early stage company. The market that we're working in is a huge opportunity. You don't need me to tell you that. The growth and changing transformation that's taking place in the energy system is really an exciting place to be in, where value is moving away from suppliers towards energy consumers. And we know that at GridEdge we can use our technology to empower those consumers to take a greater share of the value that's being created in this changing energy system. Thank you very much.
Great job.
Thank you. Have you considered other asset classes like office or residential?
So for us, we focus on large public and commercial buildings. So far it's tended to be shopping centres, large airports. We've worked with some high density housing, but again, we work there for the housing provider, either the local authority or, as you saw on the slide there, Berkeley Homes in the UK. Public administrative buildings, campus sites would be the typical profile of building we would use. We've not focused on domestic residential as the energy loads are too small really for us to provide the type of solution we want to in those cases.
Hopefully a relatively quick question. You say here your revenue targets are 20 million by 2022. What are your revenue now, and how are you actually monetizing it today?
So we monetize through a software as a service model. So one of the first things the customers said to us was, we don't want a shared savings model. We want complete transparency, but we pay you a fee and we get every penny we save, every kilogram of carbon, every new revenue we generate is ours. So the software as a service model works best for us in that environment. Revenue since we've been going have been about £250,000 since we were going for last year, but we have these existing contracts with those customers who offer us a route to scale through multiple sites. So for example, the Bullring Shopping Centre, one of our customers, they're owned by Hammerson Group. They operate, I think, over 23 different shopping centres in the UK. And same for Berkeley Homes. They have over, I think, 100 different buildings in the UK that we can scale out to roll onto.
So how many customers will you need to hit 20 million of revenues by 2022?
So our target there is to have 500 different sites, which if you look at it again, customers that have a large portfolio of sites, we could deliver 500 sites with less than 50 individual customers.
So a quick question about the BMS system. Just explain how you tie into that. Do you monitor the data to predict what's going to happen and then let the property manager go and sort it out separately, or does it automatically moderate the system?
Entirely on the terms the customer wants. So we have the full capability to do everything autonomously, deliver direct strategies to the BMS, right directly to the BMS system. But many of our customers, because they're very interested in trust and consent, want us to provide them with an alternate strategy for the day ahead, the next 3-4 hours, and it's for them to implement. And we work with whatever scenario the customer is most happy with. We very much view ourselves as being on the customer's side of the meter, empowering them to do a better job, not replacing the way that they manage energy.
One more question? Okay, great job.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.